What's up, guys? We are back with another Dragon Ball SH Figuarts review, and we're taking a look at the latest in all things tiny Goku figures. We're taking a look at the Dragon Ball Daima Goku. Now, this guy was made available at the Tamashii booth at New York Comic Con, and I wasn't there, but I had a friend snag one for me, so huge thanks to Hedgehog Action. You can find him on YouTube as well, for being able to snag me one of these at the Tamashii booth, because I just couldn't wait. Knowing that they were available, I had to try and get a hold of one of these at least a little bit early. Now, he comes in standard SH Figuarts style packaging, of course. You've got him there in the window, you've got product shots on the front. There's some nice purple foil for his name on there, which I do really like. And then the back of the box and the spine, as usual, will give you a bunch of product shots showcasing what this little guy comes with and what he can do. So yeah, let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here we go. Out of the package, our SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima Goku. So I guess if you're, I don't know, maybe unfamiliar, this is the new show. Just started, what, 2 weeks ago? And this is also the series that makes everybody kids. So we're getting kid versions of Goku and, well, Piccolo and Vegeta soon as well. Hopefully a lot more after seeing some of those designs. So we're going back to yet another Kid Goku, but this is not the same Kid Goku that we got originally. It's not the Dragon Ball version, and it sure isn't the GT version either. This thing is freaking tiny. He's so small. He still has some pretty good range as far as articulation, but he's also just different from a lot of the other figures we've gotten because, I mean, he really is small. He's like as tall as one of my fingers, and I'm not a big guy. So let's see what he can do, see how he moves around. You've got a head that can look up some. He can look down really good, tilt side to side really well. You've got full rotation there. Arms go out at the shoulders about that far. They, of course, swivel. You've got a butterfly joint in there that allows him to reach across the chest pretty well. There's a bicep swivel. This is a single jointed elbow. Get you full 90 at least. Maybe a little bit more. And then you've got your ball hinges at the wrist. Normal stuff there. Torso, he goes backwards and forwards, side to side a little bit. And that's your twist there also. Decent enough range. I mean, he is really small. There's a lot I have to kind of overlook here, I suppose. If this was a full-size figure, I would definitely have some problems with this, but based on how small he is, I think it's okay. The one area that's definitely a little bit more limited than others is the hips, though. They only go out about yay far because of the skirt piece, you know, the gi coming down, and they kick forward about that. Not the greatest. It's not the most flexible because, it's so small. There is a twist up there. We've got single jointed knees that get a little bit better than 90, though, on this one. And then you've got rotation at the top of the ankle. Pretty good rocker on this little guy, though, especially in. And then you've got your toe hinge, and then you've got, you know, a full-on ankle hinge as well. So he does move, like, pretty well. I'm honestly not upset about really anything. Again, you have to take into consideration the fact that he is really small, right? He's a very tiny figure that they're trying to pack in a lot of articulation. So for something of this size, I'd say he's definitely in the super-ish articulated category for sure. Now, what I really like is, and it's not too surprising for me, is the visuals, but I was kind of surprised that that's the way it turned out here. I wasn't really sure how this was going to work as a figure. I was kind of concerned that there was going to be all this stuff cut into him, he was going to look funny, he was going to be all carved up, and that's not really the case here. He is a very, very well put together figure. He's so tiny. Again, he's super small, and we'll do some size comparisons, but I think the tininess of him really works in his favor because it just makes him absolutely adorable. And it's really fun to mess around with this small of a Goku figure that can still move really well. He doesn't have any shading on him. He's very light on paint apps, which for the price point for this figure, I don't think is too surprising, right? It's an entry-level kind of Figuarts figure. And then he does have just a really nice soft sculpt. Like, he doesn't look chiseled or anything. He looks a little built for a little guy, but it's got a very Toriyama look. It's a little bit of a chunkiness to it in some ways, which I think is pretty cool, and it looks really neat. Like, that's really what it comes down to. It's an adorable little Goku figure, and I think it works really well. You know, again, you kind of have to be into these designs to maybe care that much, but I think this is fun, and it's new, and it's different, and again, I'm kind of here for it. I want to try it out. I'm always up for some new Dragon Ball stuff, and this show does have my attention, and this design really does have my attention still. I think it's kind of fun, and it's all topped off with a really great head of hair. It's really thick and chunky with the spikes coming out. I think that's really essential here. And then the faces, and we'll talk about the rest of them, but the faces on these, they look exactly like the anime. It looks fantastic. It's really clean and crisp. It's really big and bright with those eyes, and then it has, you know, a sense of, almost sense of life. Like, this is a really lively, funny looking Goku, and I think it comes through really well in such a, I mean, let's face it, a super small package. Now for some size comparisons, we obviously have to do the other Kid Goku. So we've got Daima in the middle, we've got Dragon Ball Kid Goku on the left, an actual child Goku, and then we've got the Kid Goku from GT here on the right. Of course, these are all very different in size and scale. I do think our Daima figure looks the most like a kid compared to other figures. He maybe isn't perfect, but he's really, really close. And I've seen some folks mention that they kind of want to use this as a Goten until we get one. And obviously that's not perfect either, but it works fairly well since he looks just like Goku. So I'm pretty happy with this. Again, he is a very, very tiny figure. So let's put him up against a Figuarts that's like a normal size figure. So here's Beast Gohan. And you can see, I mean, he's diminutive by comparison. He's absolutely dwarfed by Gohan. And then let's do some other lines. Let's take this one aside. Let's do a Marvel Legends figure. I don't use Morg enough, so there's Marvel Legends Morg from the Galactus HasLab. Let's pull Gohan aside and let's do some Mezco. So there's the Mez Conan. Let's pull Morg aside and keep with the space theme. Here's a Cosmic Legions. And then one more. Let's do a Super 7 figure. Here is a Super 7 Ultimate Power Ranger. So you can see, quite obviously, Daima Goku is very, very small. He's incredibly tiny, and again, I think that speaks a lot in terms of what they were able to pack in to such a tiny, tiny figure. Now, as far as accessories goes, Goku comes with kind of the normal array. He comes with essentially his version of an effect, also based on the fact that, well, at least as of now, he's not really done a whole lot in the show. So to start with, we do get some extra faces and some extra hair. So he's got kind of the standard configuration on him in the box with the little happy expression. He's got a gritting of the teeth face where he's looking off to his left. We've got a full-on screaming face, which is always common, very much appreciated. And then my favorite face so far is the kind of intense face, but it's definitely more like a pouty face on this figure. He looks so cranky with this face on him, and I love it. And then we also get this hair piece, which works really well with like the gritting of the teeth face or the screaming face, where his hair is kind of billowing back, you know, an actual one where he's in motion, or if you want to have him charging up or something like that. So you've got another option there. He includes 3 extra sets of hands, so he's got gripping hands on him now. He comes with a set of, or he has fists on him now, sorry. He's got gripping hands. He's got the sort of 2-finger splayed fighting stance hands, which are just the tiniest things. And then he's got like charging hands, slightly grasping hands. You can use these if you want to have him start a Kamehameha or something like that. He includes, similar to what GT Goku came with, he's got this little skirt piece that looks a little bit more dynamic, like it's kind of billowing. I find this to be relatively unnecessary and probably will never use it. It's just not that different for me. And then he comes with my favorite accessories for him in particular, because it's kind of cool to see this back in action. He's got the power pole. So he's got 2 versions of it. You've got this one, which can go over his shoulder, and it does actually come out. So if you want to have him using it, you can have it empty, because of course that's the only way it makes sense. And then he has an extended version, which is pretty much just as tall as the figure itself, which is to say it's still relatively small, but it works really well for him. So it's cool just to have this. It is just, again, like, you know, a plastic rod, but it's important for the show, at least for now, from what we've seen, it is important. So he has a pretty solid spread here. No energy effects or anything like that, because we don't really know what he's going to do in the show, I suppose, is where they went with that. But we do get the power pole, and I really, really like these faces. They're all incredibly well done. And again, for my money, the pouty face is worth the price of admission. So yeah, overall, this is an absolute winner for me. And honestly, I was really surprised that I'm saying that, especially after the last figure I reviewed was King Cold, which is probably one of my favorite Figuarts of all time at this point. This is a fun figure in a very different way. It's goofy, it's very much lighthearted, it's a kid Goku, but it's so well put together. He moves really well, he looks so good, and again, I think the super small stature of this particular figure really works in his favor, because he really does come across more like a kid here than any other time across that Dragon Ball figure, and of course the GT version. So this is a really cool figure, comes with a lot of great accessories. I really love the fact that the power pole is back in play, and the fact that we get one in the sheath and one out, I think is a really nice touch on this figure to make him as complete as possible now without us really knowing a lot more about what's going on in this show. So that's going to do it for this look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima Mini Kid Goku. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.